So you get the very first book, and you open it up. You're excited to read about Percy Jackson again, and the very first chapter is just Jason, and you're just sitting there like, who is Jason?
We had technical difficulties that you guys will never see, but we've had them. So, hi guys, episode 6.
You should probably re-explain
Yeah,
the schedule again.
yeah. The schedule, right? It's been a bit weird, but I'm just glad we made it this far without messing something up yet. But episode 5 was a bit delayed with regards to everything, but like we have lives, guys. Like, cut us some slack.
You say that like there's a bunch of people in the comments just trolling us, like it's
fine. But
this is just ourselves holding ourselves up to high expectations.
But yeah, I'm in high school. Josh is in university.
It's college.
It's college?
Like it's actually a college
okay.
that I'm going. Yeah, it's an actual college that I'm going to.
Okay. But yeah, so
not that university is harder than college, but I've heard some stories and it sounds like hell.
But yeah, so we might be switching our schedule to like 2 episodes every month instead of every other Friday, just so it makes everything easier. And that way we can actually guarantee that our schedule is right, you know.
Yeah, it's accurate to what we say it is, because right now it's like kind of been a hit and miss.
Yeah. But yeah, so today we are planning on talking about the Percy Jackson TV show because it is out December 20th. Josh, you wanna explain with further details?
Yes, absolutely. December 20th is the 2-episode premiere of the Percy Jackson TV show. This has been a long-awaited TV show for anyone who's a fan of the Percy Jackson series. And it's going to have 8 episodes. And after the 2-episode premiere this Wednesday, every single Wednesday afterward, they'll release 1 episode. So I'm very pumped. I already have plans to go and hang out with my buddy to watch it because they have also been a long-time fan of Percy Jackson. I've been a long-time fan since I don't even know when I first read it. I think I was like 10 or 9. And then I introduced it to Aiden at the same age. And then Aiden, he actually grew up. I didn't, because he got bored of it. Like right around because the TV series, the book series is targeted for kids 9 to 12, and right around the time that Aiden was 11 or 12, that's when he was like, this is the same story over and over again and I'm bored. And I was like, yeah, you're right. That being said, I still love the series. I've read the entire series. I've read the Heroes of Olympus spinoff. I've read the Trials of Apollo spinoff. And I'm going to be reading the next spinoff series, which is about Percy Jackson in college, which relatable, because that's me. So yeah, I'm really excited for it. The only thing I'm kind of sad about is Rick Riordan. He doesn't, even though he ages up his characters, he doesn't age up his targeted range, which I kind of respect that because he knows that he writes for this specific target audience, and he's good at that, and he's staying at that. That being said, Percy Jackson in real life would hella be swearing at all of the gods all of the time. But he can't because the target audience is 9 to 12. But he would be because holy crap, they give him too much crap for nothing. Anyway, TV series though, it's coming out. I'm super excited. I'm gonna make blue pancakes. No, not blue pancakes. Sorry, blue cupcakes with blue frosting. If you're a fan of the series, you know that he eats blue food, and that's why I'm doing that. So it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be good. I'm excited. Before we had technical difficulties, we briefly talked about the movies. They were atrocious. It was kind of a gong show. Rick Riordan wasn't part of that process. So I'm really hoping, and I think that's why I have so much high expectations for this one, because I'm just hoping it will be better than the movies, because he's actually involved, and he's actively a member with getting everything on the road and on the show, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I have not read the books since I was a little man. I say that as if it's a big age difference, but It's not. But
A little man. It's been like a 2 years ages offense.
I own all five books. I think I got those from you.
Nice.
Yeah, I own all five. I've read, I think, all three, and then I was like beginning, middle of the fourth one, and I was like, this is like the same story. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Then again, though, like Josh said, it was like out of the age range that it's intended for. So, I mean, it checks out like the fact that I lost interest. It was still good books though. Like well made, and they were like pretty long. I think it was like they were like what 250 pages or something, maybe less.
I think so. I th- I don't know. I don't want to go get my books off the shelf, but I think you have the right idea. It was roughly around that point, and then with the Heroes of Olympus series, the spin-off series, it got. I think he added like an extra 100, so they were around 300 pages.
Okay.
That series, and that's just because there was so much more going on. Because in the Heroes of Olympus, he introduces like four new characters, I believe. Because there's the original three, which is Annabeth, Grover, and Percy. But then they become like the seven heroes of Olympus. So yeah, four
But
characters.
yeah.
He adds four more characters to that series. Yeah. That series was weird to read because it goes the Percy Jackson series. It follows just Percy Jackson's like it follows his narrative, right? In the Heroes of Olympus, it changes narratives depending on the character that he's
Oh.
playing, and so you get the very first book and you open it up, you're excited to read about Percy Jackson again, and the very first chapter is just Jason, and you're just sitting there like, who is Jason? And then you keep reading, and like 5 chapters in, you realize Percy's not in this. Percy's missing. Why aren't they talking about Percy? So a lot of people quit reading after that because all they wanted to read about is Percy. So they quit reading the books after that. Um, but then the second book, it starts with Percy, and it's like, and then it all comes together, and it's really good. And I don't know. I could talk about it for hours, but I won't. It's good
Yeah.
though. Even though it's all basically the same stuff, it's just like the gods messing up, and then they're like, "Hello, my children. I've never done anything for you, but please fix this."
The gods are just like that.
Yeah,
Speaking of that,
that's
though,
just how they be
literally
sometimes.
in school, we're learning about Greek mythology. I forget why, and it is
Oh,
for English class
nice.
of all things. I don't even know why. It's it's not social
You learn
studies.
about Greek mythology for English
I know.
class? I thought it would be social. That was my first thought was social studies. It's like, oh, you're learning about the Greek gods? Must be social studies class.
I
No?
think it's the fact in English the module we're on right now is like self-care, and like Greek gods and stuff have a lot of like modern world relations, whether like when they like messed up and stuff. Like I think because one of the things we were reading was Midas, and you know how Midas wishes he like everything he touches becomes gold, but when he gets that, he's like, oh
Yep.
no, I can't eat, I can't drink, all this. So I think that's what it is. Like
Yep.
just like because that would be like think before you speak or something.
Think before you speak. Think before you make a wish about turning everything to gold.
Yeah, but just like
Yeah.
just
That.
modern world relations like that.
Okay. I can see how they could do that for English class, I guess.
Yeah.
It's still
It's still
odd, but
odd though,
cool.
yeah.
I don't know. Sounds more interesting than my English classes. I can't remember much of the books that we read in middle school, but for high school, it was a lot of like modern day fiction. We were basically kids reading about ourselves. That's basically what I did. What we read. Because I remember there was this one book. I think it was called Twisted. And it was about this kid. He had been doing community service all summer because he got caught tagging, like putting graffiti on the school at the end of this previous school semester, and he had done it because of a bet made with his friends, I think. And he had done it with a bet made with his friends. So the book starts with him finishing his last couple days of community service, and then he enters like grade 11 or something, and it's just all about him being a socially awkward kid and trying to get along with his parents and trying to learn how to talk to girls. And that was basically the plot of it. And it's just like, we're just reading a book about the everyday high school experience. This is dumb. And I remember my teacher like asked for my everyone's opinions in class, and I was like, it's a well written novel, but it was boring. But the only reason it was boring is because it's just the everyday teenage experience. So I found it boring. I don't think she liked that. But it's like, nah, this is literally just a book about kids. It was super weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Greek mythology definitely sounds more interesting than that.
The directed audience for that would be like either like really old or really young. Like,
Exactly. It's like, do you want to know what's happening in the mind of your child? Please read this book. And then for teenagers, it's like, hey, do you want to know that you're not alone in this world? Please read this book. It's like, okay, cool. This is just everyday experience. Awesome.
that sounds funny
So
though.
for me, who likes to read about fantasy and mythology and adventure and stuff, I just thought it was the most boring book I've ever read.
Like, cause they're basically they make us read about all like the Greek myths, like all the main ones, like uh
Yeah,
Midas,
the famous ones.
uh Timothus, Dionysus, and all those. But they're like there's like an entire like stack of like double-sided pages on one god, and we have to study like all of them and then do quizzes on like the most obscure things that happen inside the little paragraph.
Gross.
Like I think one of them was like Apollo made like something for someone, and basically he like it was like wings, and then he flew too close to the sun, and then his wings like melted and he fell into the ocean.
Was wasn't that Hephaestus?
Yeah, it might have been
Was that
Hephaestus.
Apollo? I thought that was
It might have been
Hephaestus.
Hephaestus.
It's Icarus.
Okay.
You know
Yeah.
Icarus from Super Smash Brothers? Yeah, so Icarus from Super Smash Brothers, he's based off that Greek mythology myth.
Oh, okay, okay.
So him and his dad were like locked in a tower or something, and then they had to make wings, or Hephaestus helped them make wings. I can't remember the details, but Hephaestus helped them make wings, or they made wings themselves. And then the dad warned his son. He was like, "You cannot go too low to the ocean, because your feathers will get wet, and then you won't be able to fly. But you cannot go too high to the sun, because the wax that hold your feathers together will melt, and then you will fall." And then they went flying away from their tower to escape the people, and then Icarus went too close to the sun, and he went
Yeah.
falling to the ground, and he died. It was a good time. Um, I I don't know. I remember Icarus. I think they spoke about it in the Percy Jackson series at some point in time. There's like 15 books to this now,
Yeah.
and they talk about a lot of different people from all of the myths that Greeks have. So it's hard for me to follow. I know they spoke to the gold guy too. I just don't know when. But at some point in this one of the series, they had to go and speak to the gold guy, and he was like really annoying to them. And I don't even know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Icarus one. I wouldn't want to do a quiz on that, to be honest.
It's
As much as I enjoy the series, I would not want to have a quiz on Greek mythology. That sounds too complicated. I'm very happy that I don't have to do quizzes anymore.
yeah,
Well, I still have to do quizzes, just not those type of quizzes.
it's interesting, but like all the main gods, they kind of have like almost the side characters. I don't want to say the side characters, but not as much as like the well-known. Like they don't have one about Poseidon. They don't have one about Zeus, and they don't have one about Medusa.
Hades?
Or yeah, they don't even have one about
Medusa?
Hades either, though. Like I think the
Okay,
only
first of all, those are the three main
yeah,
gods. I feel like that's kind of important to talk about them at least
like
once, but I can understand if they think they're overrated.
they mention them in some of the stories, like because I think they have one about Kronos and stuff like that,
Oh yeah, their dad.
and they like
Yeah.
just slightly mention like Hades or something. But other than that, it's like it's a lot
Okay.
because there's so much to
They just.
read.
Oh. I don't know if you're gonna have. I don't know if you're gonna go into university or if you're gonna go into college. I don't know what you're gonna do. But here's the thing about university. Your grandma actually taught me this, and then, um, uh, Jamie confirmed it, and I was still surprised when they told me this. When you're in university, you cannot read everything because the sheer amount of stuff that they get you to read is just gonna be too much.
No.
So basically, take those booklets that you're talking about right now that you have to read for Greek mythology, and then times it by like 1,000, and that's what they're gonna want you to read in university, and then they're gonna give you a giant exam at the end with all these stupid little details that you're talking about right now. And they told me they're like, it's literally impossible to get your essays and all of your work done and read everything that they want you to read all at the same time in a single semester. So what they did is they would read the first chapter and then they would read the synopsis and then they would do their work. And they got it
Yeah,
done.
that would work.
So it's like it works. I'm not saying do that. Don't do that. You're in high school. It's fine. Don't do that. But in university, think about it.
Yeah.
Unless they change the rules, because I know they're already changing the rules with college. Like at my college, for example, yeah, we do. We still have many tests, but it's not tests like what you're describing. Because what you're describing is like read this, memorize it, go take a test. Our test, they're all open book, and they're all skill questions. So it's not just going to be like, what color shoes did Hades have? It's going to be like, it's almost going to be like a math problem. They'll give you a math problem and then you have to try and figure out what it is based on what you learned and based on the open test books that you do. So that's how they're trying to eliminate exams and tests in my school, because then it's actually, instead of forcing you to just memorize a bunch of random facts about Greek mythology, it's forcing you to like actually use what they've taught you and try and apply it. I don't know. It's hard to explain without outright giving you a lecture on how to code, and like I can't do that. I'm not going to go through that. I can't apply it to Greek mythology either, though, because that's one of those things where yeah, you just read a bunch of stuff and then memorize it and then you answer questions.
Yeah.
Is it multiple choice at least?
It's yeah, I think there's like four choices. But there's also true or false. So,
Oh, okay, that's not bad. You got a 50-50 shot.
yeah. I think it was
uh,
sad because like the one they give you like one to study at the beginning and then after you have to read all of them, and the one they gave me to study at the beginning had no questions on the entire survey thingy, and I was like so mad because there was like the other ones that
so
people
you
got
studied
are
this
like
for
so
nothing?
major on the quiz. It was like 50% of it, and it was like
Why even give you an option if they're not going to put it on the
I
quiz?
don't know. Maybe it's just
That is
that's
so
just maybe it's just to
frustrating.
get you to
Oh,
actually
jeez, I
read
hate
the
that
other
so much.
ones. But
Probably. It's like, here, please be engaged with the material that we're giving you. That's wild to me, though. Um, that being said, it's not going to be the last time it happens to you. It's happened to me a few times. Yeah, you'll always have like this big piece of material, and then it's not on the quiz. It's on something else, and it's like, okay, thank you. I read that book for nothing. Oh well, that's awesome though that you were learning about that. Still sounds more better than Shakespeare or something. Did you do any Shakespeare in English yet?
not yet. I think it's like in like March.
I managed to avoid Shakespeare right up until my very last semester of high school. Like, not a single teacher made us do any Shakespeare work until grade 12, second semester English class, and then this lady was like ancient. She had been a student teacher in the residential schools, so I didn't like her immediately. Um, She was literally retiring that year, and then yeah, she made us do Shakespeare. I think it was Hamlet or Macbeth. I don't even remember which one it was. It was the one where like the dude's dad dies, and then he leaves, and then he comes back, and then the dude's dad is there as a ghost, and then whoever had taken over the kingdom was like hanging out, and then the dude that was supposed to be the proper ruler of the kingdom was there and had to like fight him. I don't know. We read 3 acts and then we watched a movie. Uh, it was weird.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Shakespeare though. They're actually, if given in proper context, they're actually pretty funny. Like I don't know if you ever watched She's the Man. It's a super old movie from like 2007, I think. I used to watch that stuff all the time growing up. That's a Shakespeare play.
Oh.
They just modified it. They made it modern. That's a Shakespeare play, though. I don't know which play it is, but it's a Shakespeare play.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's
We might get Shakespeare, but like in March, that's our. I think it's from like March to April is our poetry stuff.
yeah.
So maybe she'll slip in Shakespeare,
Okay.
but
Just throw in a tiny little bit of Shakespeare, because why not? I don't remember any of my poetry units. No, I don't remember any of them. Enough said. I don't remember any of the poetry units. We didn't really do poetry that much. I just mainly remember the Shakespeare units. Uh, Crap, you said something that reminded me of something I was going to ask, and now I forget what it was. Oh yeah, does your school ever run plays? Just like drama class plays
I
done. Does your school ever do that?
I think they did it like once or twice, and I forget what it was for. Oh yeah, we used to have. They don't do it anymore. We used to have a talent show that we'd run every year, but they stopped that when
Oh,
I was in
nice.
like fifth grade.
Yeah.
So there was like I think
Okay.
the high school class did a play,
Nice.
but that was it. I okay, wait. I made a poem in like
Okay.
seventh grade, and I want to see if I can find it. It's a
Oh my
Word
god.
document, and
Are
I
you
just
gonna
remember
find
it
it?
being hilarious. So I'm just gonna see if I can find it. It shouldn't take that long.
I don't. I know I had to write poems for class multiple times. I don't remember any of them. I definitely don't have them on any of the devices I have now. It would have been on like on paper.
Oh, wait, I found it. I
Because
found
that's what we did in school. We had paper and pen.
it. It's called Water. I
Okay.
don't know why it's called Water, but it's okay. Wait.
So it has nothing to do with water.
No, I
You
think
just
it
called it
does.
water
It's
for the
still
sake of
loading.
calling it water.
It's like because it's like deep in the Word documents that I have.
Is this year? I can't remember if what do you call it? I can't remember if your parents put you in school when you were supposed to be put in school, or if they waited. I honestly can't. No, you're the youngest in your class,
Yeah,
so you're in grade 8 right now.
yeah. Because
Yeah, okay, never mind. They did put you in there early. Fun fact about Aiden: he's a New Year's Eve baby, so he's that guy that's like always the youngest in every single class.
yeah,
He's
you
either always the oldest or always the youngest, depending on when his parents put him in school.
it's literally impossible to be younger than me if you're in the same grade as me.
Unless they share your birthday and they were born like
An hour.
at a different hour than
Yeah.
you were. Like I think you were born at like 9:30 or something.
Yeah.
If they were born anytime between 9:30 and midnight, then they're then they're younger than you. If they were born New Year's Day, they would have just been in the other class.
Okay. I'm gonna
Yeah, okay, yeah, you did get put in there early.
I'm gonna recite my
Can't
poem.
remember for a second. So this was only last year. This was literally only last year, this poem.
No, I'm in ninth grade.
In ninth grade now?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is 2 years
Yeah.
ago. Okay.
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 Oh, it's a rhyming one. Sick. Okay. Ahem.
That's what I mean.
Don't
Are you
usually
gonna wrap
rhyme.
it?
Okay. Water is cool. Water is nice. Water can turn itself into ice. Water can be cold. Water can be hot. Water can be old or stored in a coffee pot. Water can be any shape or size, come in a bottle, or come with fries. I like water. You should too. Maybe one day I can drink water with you. That's
Did you just say water can come with flies?
yeah.
And water can be old? Everything flowed so nicely together. When you made that old comment, I was kind of like, what? And then when you made the flies comment, again, I was kind of like, what? But everything else actually sounded really good.
I mean, technically, yeah. If you're at a restaurant, you can just serve it with fries.
That's just called ordering flies. Oh, jeez. That's awesome, though. Good times. I like it. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, I think out of
I can't compare it to anything I wrote in 7th grade.
like English class and French class, I love writing, honestly. Like it's just so much fun to like create
Yeah.
your own stories and like make something that's by you. And you could say that's like I made that.
Yeah. I used to do it a lot when I was that age. I can't remember the last time I wrote something, though, just for the sake of it. But good. Creative writing was always fun. I liked it way better than essays. Essays was boring.
Yeah.
Because it was always like, please interpret this and explain it. And I was like, okay. I did pretty good, like, interpreting and understanding it. It's just, I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
I was like you. I like the creative aspect better. It's like, let me just do my own thing. I don't want to have to read this person's script from 500 years ago.
I don't think I've had to write many
Good
essays.
times.
I think I've maybe wrote like one that
Yeah.
I can remember in health class. And basically we had to make like a 100-word essay. Like it wasn't even big. A 100-word essay about why we think
Damn.
physical activity like exercise is good for you. So I mean it wasn't much.
Awesome. And also the easiest topic ever.
Exactly.
Do you do end of year exams yet?
No, not yet.
Our end of year exams for English class was always an essay, which I always found really, like, it just felt like the school was kicking itself in its own butt, because we would spend the year where we would write maybe 1 or 2 essays that semester, and we would like write a copy, give it to the paper, they would correct it, we would write another copy, give it to the teacher, they would correct it, and then we would write our final copy, and that would be our final copy, they would correct it, and that would be our final grade on that specific essay. That's how we would usually do essays in my classes. And then the final exam comes, and they give us our topic, and they're like, okay, you have 3 hours to write this essay.
Oh.
It's like, what's the point of spending 3 hours rushing to write an essay when all year you taught us how to write a draft, and then taught us how to make corrections based on corrections given to us from that draft, and then taught us how to do it again for our final copy? What? It's just, I don't know, it's one of the many irks I had when it came to school, but school is important, so I got myself through it.
Yeah, I remember them doing that too. They were just like, reread your stuff and find a website that you can put your work into and corrects everything or something. I think they literally gave us a website.
Oh, like Grammarly.
Yeah, they literally gave us a website. I think it was like Reverso
Yeah.
or something, and you could like correct everything.
Nice. Yeah. And then when it comes to the final exam, final showdown, it's like, have this written in 3 hours immediately. No, you're not allowed phones or any type of software to help you. It's like, okay, fine then.
Literally this year,
I see how it is.
I made a presentation, and the guy who showed us Reverso, I put the presentation into Reverso, and he said, "Did you correct this?" And I was
Yep.
like, "Yes, I did." And he's like, "Did you put it in Reverso?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." And he was like, "'Cause there's still some mistakes." And I'm like, "What?"
Unbelievable.
Like literally the website you showed me, you're complaining on how it's not good.
It's not working. That's awesome, though. Hey, did you use all of the tools that I taught you how to use? Oh, it's still wrong. Okay, thanks.
I know, and I was like, well,
Oh, jeez, that's so great. Those are good times. I love those. I love those times when that happened, even though it's like kind of really annoying at the same time. Oh, jeez. We kind of dived off topic there, but that's fine. It started with Percy Jackson because I'm really excited about that. I'm going to talk to you about it again when I'm done watching the series. I can't binge it, obviously, but when I'm done watching the series, I'm going to talk about it again, and all the podcast listeners will hear it too, and I'll let you know if it sucks or not. But that reminds me, you're taking quizzes on Greek mythology.
Yeah.
So the actors, the three little new generation of actors, they what's it? Well, I guess they're not little. They're like they're literally your age, but for me they're little. Anyway, the new little generation of Percy Jackson actors, they did they've been doing a lot of little promo interviews to get ready for their Disney TV show premiere, and one of them was a bunch of Greek mythology facts. And they were listing off stuff that even I completely forgot what it was. Like, I had no idea what they were talking about. So it's going to be fun because I realize now that the last time I reread the Percy Jackson book was like 4 or 5 months ago, sometime in the summertime. I don't remember much of it.
Yeah.
So I won't even be able to get to compare it to the TV shows, but that's okay. That's gonna be a good time.
What is it on Disney?
Be on Disney,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, maybe by next episode that
I'm
we
super
could talk
pumped for
about
it.
like the first
That
few
okay.
episodes.
That actually reminds me. These actors that they found, they've got history acting, right? The guy who plays. Did you ever watch Cheaper by the Dozen?
I don't think so. I've heard of it, but I don't think I've watched it.
Okay, there's Cheaper by the Dozen. There's the first one, the one that I grew up on in the 2000s, and it's like, I don't know. They had the 12 kids. Moving on. Then they made a remake of it, and the kid who plays Grover was in the remake of Cheaper by the Dozen.
Okay.
So he was in that, and he was also in a musical. Don't know what musical it is. And then Percy Jackson, who's played by Walker Scobell, he is in the Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds. He plays young Ryan Reynolds in the Adam Project.
Oh, yeah.
And which I haven't even watched that movie yet. I should really watch the movie. I haven't watched it yet, but he plays young Ryan Reynolds in the Adam Project, which apparently was a really good movie.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. But like, how old is Percy in like the first? Because this series is gonna be placed like from the beginning, or is it gonna be like?
That's another thing that I am worried about. That's another thing that I'm worried about that I forgot to talk about, but I wanted to talk about it. Okay, so they started filming this before the actors' strike, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they had the actors' strike. So everything was like, they actually finished filming before the actors' strike happened. So they finished filming, then the actors' strike happened. So everything that they were working on when it came to season 2 came to a complete standstill because of the actors' strike, obviously, and because like Rick Warden supports that, and he wasn't about to be like, hey, let's move on to this thing when there's an actor strike happening. So everything went to a complete hold. Everything came to a complete standstill. Then the actor strike has happened again, but so far we haven't heard a single thing about them beginning the process for season 2. The actors and actresses in the movies, well, not all of them, I know, but the 3 main characters, Grover, Annabeth, and Percy, they've all said continuously multiple times that they are prepared to do this series for like as long as it takes. Here's the thing though. Percy, he's already 14 years old. Annabeth, she's already 14 years old. Grover, he's 17 years old. They're already aging out of what they're supposed to be. Like, at the end of the Percy Jackson series, they're 16 years old. Grover's already older than that. And then Percy and Annabeth and Percy, they will eventually be older than that. But they're prepared to stay there the whole time. So I think they're going to stay true to the timeline of Percy Jackson. But I think they're going to stretch it out a little bit. Because with Percy Jackson, because Rick Riordan was just an all-star when it came to writing, I guess, he was always like, alright, first book, Percy's 12 years old. Second book, he's 13. Third book, he's 14. Like, a year passes with every single one. With every single event that happens. So what I feel like they're going to do is to make up for the fact that their actors are aging too quickly to play these roles. They're just going to be like, alright, this happened 3 years ago. Alright, another 3 years, this is gonna happen. Another 3 years, this is gonna happen. That's what I'm guessing anyway. Or they'll just make their heads bigger with technology, like they did with It Chapter 2. I don't know if I remember telling you that or not.
Yeah. But
yeah, in It Chapter 2, they had a couple of flashback scenes with the actors, but by the time they were filming the second movie, the actors had aged like 3 years, so they were older, obviously, and had gone through puberty and stuff. So what they did is they CGI'd their heads to make them bigger, like a balloon or whatever. And somehow that worked, and they still look pretty similar to how they did in the first movie. I don't know, it was a whole thing. They'll figure something out. Point is, that's another thing I'm kind of worried about with this series, because I have a feeling it's going to be a great series. It's just the actors are going to grow up too fast, which is fine. They have to, you can't put a hold on them growing up. I don't know.
I was asking that because the guy from the Adam Project, he looks like he's like 9. Like, honestly, like he looks super young. So I don't know.
He did look super young.
I don't know, like, I don't know what timeline of Percy Jackson it's gonna be.
Percy Jackson, the timeline for the book series is 12 to 16, or 17 now that I think about it, because it's supposed to be 5 years, so 17. Got that wrong. Anyway, and in the Adam Project, he was very young, but he got signed on to be Percy Jackson like a year or two after the Adam Project came out. So if you look at this kid now, he's already pretty much getting up there in age.
Yeah.
Well, he's not. He's a child. But compared to the roles he's playing, he's getting up there in age. But yeah, I'm excited. And then apparently Annabeth, she's been in a few things. She was one of the kids in Beast. Did you watch that one?
In what?
The movie Beast.
Beast?
Yeah, it was about that dad and his daughters. They go to Africa, where their mom is originally from, because their mom always wanted them to see her birthplace that she came from, but they just like couldn't find the time to do it, and then their mom passed away from cancer, I think. So then his dad takes them on his trip there because he knew that it was his wife's wish. Then a bunch of stuff happens, and this lion like starts attacking them. So the whole movie is just about their survival against this lion. Anyway, the actress for Annabeth, she's one of the daughters in that movie. I watched the movie. I went to go see it in theaters. It's not a bad movie. It was pretty good. There was like 3 moments in the movie where the CGI was just really awkward to look at. And I feel I have no idea what they could have done instead of putting those scenes in it, but it was just very, very awkward because one of their guides that helps them during their stay and like guides them on their tour during Africa, he's been like following this specific pride of lions since for like the past 10 years or something. So these lions literally grew up with him and know him. So they have a scene where he goes to like greet them and he's hugging them and stuff. And they're like, they're basically like a house cat, but it's a lion. That's how they're acting with him. They're like pouncing around on him and stuff, and he's hugging them. And of course he's like falling over because it's a lion that's like pretending to playfully jump on you. Of course you're gonna fall over. So they were realistic in the way that works, but of course because they couldn't get an actual lion to go and actually perform that on a random stranger, they had to CGI the whole thing, and it was just very awkward to watch. It was like real life, like you and me, and then all of a sudden we see a cutscene from a video game. Then it stopped and went back to real life. Yeah. It was very weird, but it was a pretty good movie. Lots of cool stuff happens in there. Goodness.
Yeah,
good times.
I'm excited for the movie. I'm excited for the movie or the series, but they're probably gonna be like an hour episodes, honestly, right? Like all TV series.
Yeah, I think they said like one time 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Just like all the other series that they have nowadays, one time 40 minutes, half hour, or whatever. So I'm not. I don't know. No. I'll see what happens. I'm still pumped.
Yeah.
All right. So that's us for now. We'll see you guys at some point in December. at some point again. And you guys have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays, guys.
Do you have any parting words for our audience?
The next time that you probably will see me, I'll be older because my birthday is in December. So the next time we
Yes.
record an episode, I'll probably be older. So yeah.
By 1 year.
By 1 year.
I put your gift wrapping in a neutral bag. Like it's a Christmas bag, but you can't tell that it doesn't have Santa Claus on it. Like it doesn't have Santa Claus or a snowman on it. That being said, it is a Christmas bag, but you can't tell it's a Christmas bag. So I hope you don't care about that because I know my sister, who was also born in December, her birthday was on the 15th. She doesn't like that. So I have to like specifically go out and try and find birthday wrapping paper for her in December. So yeah, your bag is in a Christmas bag, but it's not a Christmas bag. I don't know. I'll send you a picture of it. If you're mad at it, I can find a birthday bag. I did not combine your gifts, though. I never do that to anyone born in December. I don't do that to them. Anyway, good times. Happy holidays.
Yeah. See you guys later.
Comment again, I was kind of like, what? But everything else actually sounded really good.
I mean, technically, yeah. If you're at a restaurant, you can just serve it with fries.
That's just called ordering fries.